Reggie's Fight Talk, sponsored by Richie's Boxing and Limitless Creations. And with me now, the sugar-free boxer, Luke Byrne, all the way from Ireland. How you doing, Luke?
Good, Joel. How are you keeping?
Yeah, really good, mate. It's good to be back. It's good to have you back on as well. And we're going for Akeem Ennis Brown versus Sam Maxwell, which will be on BT Sport this Saturday. Looking forward to this one. But before we get into it, we're going to have a little bit of this.
Are you ready?
Akeem Ennis Brown versus Sam Maxwell this Saturday on BT Sport for the Commonwealth and British titles. There's been a lot of, should we say, back and forth between the two of them. Interesting already, some good shoves going on and building up the tension. Ennis Brown, 14 fights, 14 wins, 1 knockout. Sam Maxwell, 15 fights, 15 wins, 11 knockouts. Ennis Brown last out September last year against Philip Bowes, and Sam Maxwell was in March. Ben Fields, and he won on points. So, been the more active Sam Maxwell in his favour. He's got the knockouts in his favour. Can you see anything different than a Sam Maxwell win?
No, I fancy Sam Maxwell to do it, and I think, like as you touched upon, how Brown has conducted himself on the lead up to the fight. I think he's a bit worried about Maxwell. I think he's trying to get into his head, and it's schoolyard tactics really. It's not much. It's pushing and shoving and being childish with his insults and that. And I honestly do think he's worried about what Maxwell can do to him inside the ring. So he's trying to beat him outside of it, but I can't see anything but a Maxwell stoppage. I think Brown is very awkward, especially early on, but he couldn't punch snow off a rope, really. He's not a heavy hitter, and he doesn't plant his feet either. It's not in his style to hit hard. So I think if Maxwell can track him down within 5 rounds, I think he'll stop him mid to late. I don't think Brown is going to want to know once Maxwell starts landing, but early on it'll be awkward, but I think Maxwell will get the job done.
Can you not see Ennis Brown getting a result on points? No way that he can dictate the fight with a jab?
Like, he could fiddle his way to a decision, but honestly, I think Maxwell will have trained very hard on closing the distance and cutting the ring off. That's what you're going to have to do against Brown. It's just the way it is. He's going to be switching stance. He's going to be tip-tapping around the place. But if he can't hurt Maxwell, and as we've shown, Maxwell has a lot of heart, as he proved in, 2019 when he came back from the brink of despair to win by knockout. And he shows he's got heart, and he's not going to stop coming. And if he's practiced on cutting the ring off properly, I think Brown's going to have a very hard time just tip-tapping his way to a decision, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I think, like you're saying, when you look at the records on paper as well, Sam Maxwell with 11 knockouts out of 15, that's quite impressive. And, he can box as well. So, he's got different game plans, different things going on, where Ennis Brown only really knows about, boxing his way through fights. And, I'm not going to count him out. At the end of the day, he's 14 wins. But I just think Maxwell's just going to have that power advantage, and I think he'll get him out. I think it'll be late rounds.
Like there's a lot of fighters out there whose records don't help them with their power. Like, a lot of them have more power than their record would suggest. But with Brown, his whole style, he doesn't plant his feet. He doesn't sit down on his shots. He's not like a Josh Warrington who just doesn't have a lot of KOs but can actually hurt you. He just doesn't try to hurt you, I don't think Brown does. And that'll really go against him with Maxwell. And if he does try and change things up here and try and give Maxwell a surprise and stand and trade with him, I think he'll come worse off there as well, because Maxwell has shown his grit and his toughness and the fact that he's a hard puncher. So I think Maxwell will get the job done. And you know what? I'll be satisfied if he does, because I didn't enjoy how Brown conducted himself at the press conferences. I don't think it's good to see, especially off the back of the Olympics, when you're going to have a lot of young kids joining boxing clubs and being inspired. They don't need to be watching that.
Well, there we go. So me and Luke are both going for a Sam Maxwell late stoppage. And yeah, we'll find out this Saturday on BT Sport. Looking forward to this one. I think it could be quite a tetchy affair, should we say? But Luke, thanks for joining me as always, and hopefully we'll have a chat.
Cheers, John.
After the boxing, and speak to you soon, mate.
Perfect. Have a good one.
Take care, mate. Thank you.
See you later.
All